Something very wrong is going on with the nuclear power in France. Macron is facing a Fukushima-style horror accident as EDF reactors crack force a shutdown. French President Emmanuel Macron facing a nightmare situation. Cracks in EDF reactors threaten to create accidents as devastating as Fukushima, according to Express reports. France is facing a relatively unique energy crisis when compared to other countries in Europe. The country is not heavily dependent on natural gas, Russian or otherwise, getting most of its energy supplied from nuclear power, which generates 70% of France's electricity. But Paris has been forced to shut down many French reactors, as recent report warned Mr. Macron of significant corrosion, safety problems in EDF nuclear power plants in France, as cracks were detected in some nuclear reactors. Speaking to reporters, Dr. Bernard Leponche, the co-author of the study, warned that in many of these reactors, cracks to cooling systems could cause devastating accidents. He said if the defects are detected in or near the welds or near the junction between these and the primary cooling circuits, cause a breach in the cooling system with an important loss of water, this can lead to the partial or total melting of the fuel assemblies in the reactor core. This means the possibility of a 3-mile island or a Fukushima-type accident. As a result of these corrosion problems, 4 of the 1,500 megawatt, 7 of the 1,300 megawatt, and 1 of the 900 megawatt reactors are shut down. In the meantime, engineers are working on fixing the segments of the cooling circuits where the cracks were identified. Dr. Leponche warned that all other reactors will likely be checked for these issues within the next year. If further evidence of cracks are found, the corresponding part of the reactor will be removed and replaced in a procedure that Dr. Leponche estimates could take a year. He said this means that a large part of the EDF nuclear fleet will be gradually shut down. He says next winter, France will reopen coal and gas plants, but the country has very few of them and it will have to import a maximum of electricity from abroad. Important efforts will be necessary to reduce electricity consumption, particularly at the winter peak, due in particular to high proportion of electrical heating, of course. Last week, the heads of France's major energy companies penned a letter issuing a dire warning about the energy crisis, urging individuals and businesses to limit power consumption immediately. They wrote, "We need to work collectively to reduce our consumption in order to regain room to maneuver." They said taking action as soon as this summer will allow us to better prepare at the start of next winter, notably for preserving our gas reserves. The news of the cracks in EDF reactors in France could also spell danger for the energy company's nuclear projects in the UK, Leponche said. He says, although all the EPR reactors are shut, Olkiluoto and Taishan are not yet functioning, Flamanville 3 in France, there is a high probability that the same problem does exist in other reactors, including those at Hinkley Point. EDF should be questioned on this point. EDF is currently building the Hinkley Point Point C nuclear power station in Somerset in the UK and was previously set to come online 2026, but has since been delayed due to COVID. Speaking to reporters, Dr. Paul Dorfman, Associate Fellow at SPRU University of Sussex, who was not involved in the study, criticized EDF and the French nuclear fleet as a whole, saying, "The French Nuclear Corporation EDF runs the UK nuclear reactor fleet, is building Hinkley Point C and wants to build Sizewell C. But EDF is in a parlous financial state with huge debts, and all the builds of its flagship EPR reactor have had huge cost and time overruns, and it's not a good look," he said. That's not good. The company is going into debt. That's not good. So as Lord Debon, chair of UK Parliamentary Committee on Climate Change says, the nuclear industry does not deliver on time and does not deliver to budget. So there's a real concern about how qualified EDF are to do these things. And the reporters have reached out to EDF for comments on the findings on this report. And this is on Express UK by Anthony Angus-Canaz. Please leave your comments. Thank you for your support. Kindly support my Patreon account. The daily posts are 5 videos daily, and they are totally different from what I have on my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for your support and that you find all my content so interesting. You'll find the Patreon account details in the description box below.